right. Thanks everybody for being here. We're about a little over 24 hours after yesterday's incident, and we're joined here with City of Brooklyn Park Fire and Police Departments, as well as partners from a number of federal agencies, as well as the Hennepin County Medical Examiner's Office. We will have everybody spell and say their first and last names and titles. I'm Risika Adesagan, Communications Manager at the City of Brooklyn Park, RISIKATADESAOGUN, and we will have Brooklyn Park Fire Chief Sean Conway kick us off.
Good afternoon, my name is Sean Conway, Fire Chief, Brooklyn Park. Sean, S-H-A-W-N, Conway, C-O-N-W-A-Y. I want to begin by thanking you for your partnership, because the communications for our community is very important, and we appreciate this effort from all of you. I also want to begin by just establishing the priority, and there's been a number of people who, family, friends, loved ones who's experienced significant loss, and they are our priority, and how we continue to process this scene, that is important to us, and we're all working very diligently to support them as this is ongoing. Follow up from yesterday, we are within a 24-hour operational period. Electricity was reestablished to the homes earlier this morning about 1 a.m. and there are no other concerns for safety or utilities for the remaining homes in the neighborhood. For our community, we stand firm to support one another, and we do appreciate your help, as crews will be working in and around the area for the foreseeable future. More timelines to be shared as the overall site is processed. So with that, the City of Brooklyn Park Fire Department, Police Department, and Operations and Maintenance Division, we will be now moving more towards a supportive agency role. We will formally transfer the investigation over to the NTSB, and I am going to introduce Tim from the NTSB to provide a brief statement. And then we know that there are going to be some questions that you have, and we are prepared to give you some time to answer those, to ask those questions, and us provide answers to that after we hear from the NTSB. Tim?
My name is Tim, T-I-M. Last name is Sorensen, spelled S-O-R-E-N-S-E-N. My title is Aviation Accident Investigator, and I am employed by the NTSB. My colleague and I at the NTSB, first of all, on behalf of the entire agency, would like to extend our condolences to the family, friends, members of the community that have been affected by this tragic accident. We sincerely are very grateful for the support of the local authorities and the support that we've gotten and the assistance that we will continue to get while we're on scene here. So like I said, my colleague and I, we arrived on scene this morning. We're currently in the process of documenting the accident site, and that will continue throughout the day today. We will begin recovering the aircraft later this afternoon, and the aircraft will be taken to a secure location where a more detailed examination will be conducted. We're also looking into all other aspects as the investigation proceeds, all other aspects that may have affected the operation, such as the weather, such as the background experience of the pilot, the status of the aircraft, the maintenance on the aircraft. All of those will be taken into account as the investigation proceeds. As it seems obvious, I guess the investigation is just getting started. We don't have a lot of answers right now. As far as reports go, there will be a preliminary report that will be issued probably in about 10 days or 2 weeks. That will not have a cause associated with it. That will just be factual information that we have determined at the present time during the course of the initial investigation. So at that time, if you want to move to questions then, or if there are any questions, we can go ahead and take those.
Do you guys know how many people were aboard that aircraft?
The current information we have, and this is preliminary, the current information we have is that there was one individual on board.
Are you able to confirm if Terry Dolan was on the plane?
I am not prepared to confirm anything as far as an identity. The NTSB will not release any identities. That will be up to the medical examiner's office once they've done their identification and their protocols.
Can you touch on how the fire after the crash can provide some challenges for you all to uncovering all the information that you need to find?
With respect to the investigation for the aircraft, well, the fire actually, obviously does more damage, so that will provide additional challenges. There is significant damage to the aircraft, as is obvious, but we will piece through that and we will glean all of the information we can from it.
Chief Conway, are you able to confirm that there were no injuries or I know yesterday you confirmed there were no fatalities in the community. Were there any injuries in the community?
No, there was not. There was one resident in the home at the time who was able to self-escape, and no injuries were sustained.
And your crews are fine?
Our crews are fine, and thank you for asking. That's another opportunity for me to share just for this greater community. We couldn't do this without our partnership with Plymouth and Fridley, West Metro Fire Departments, Osseo Fire Departments. We're so grateful for how everybody responded so rapidly to help us extinguish the fire and then to set this incident investigation up for success.
Was there damage to any other homes?
There was minor damage to the home to the south and some debris damage to the yards.
When you say minor damage, can you elaborate?
Nothing structural. It was specifically to vinyl siding.
Is this how the total loss then?
The house that was impacted by the aircraft, a total loss, correct.
Can you speak to how many people lived in the house that was impacted and how they're being helped out now in this now?
Yes, we believe 2 residents, and we are in ongoing conversations with them. Just as I began earlier, supporting all of the families, friends, loved ones who are involved, but they are our priority. We are in ongoing conversations with them because those needs are changing. Specifically to your question, they lost their home immediately, as you can see by the damage, and we are supporting them with their needs at this time, for sure.
Question for the medical examiner. Do you by chance know when you'll be able to release the identity of the individual or individuals who were killed in the crash?
I do not. My name is Dr. Jessica Campbell. I am the forensic anthropologist at the Hennepin County Medical Examiner. I do not. This is an ongoing investigation, and we have to make sure we have scientific identification before we release that to the public.
And I'm so sorry if I missed this a little earlier, but can you say age, gender, where they were from, anything along those lines? Like, were they local to Minnesota?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear your question. Can you repeat that, please?
Anything more you can say in terms, are you able to say age, gender, if they were from anywhere here in Minnesota, the person who was piloting the plane?
I do not have that information, cannot share that, no.
And can you speak to that same question in terms of the residents of the homes, ages, were they a couple, those sorts of facts?
I won't speak to that right now. It's important for us to really, in a sense, support them where they're needed right now, and now is not an appropriate time for that.
Up here for Tim, please. Up here for you, please, Tim. If this was headed towards, I believe, Anoka, about how far away are we? How close were they to reaching their final destination?
So if the question is as far as what their itinerary was, what their intended destination was, that's still under investigation. To your secondary point there, exactly how far we are from Anoka, I have not looked that up. I don't know.
Is it a single engine aircraft?
Correct. Single engine aircraft.
Do you know what year?
Offhand, I don't. Offhand, I don't.
Is there anything you can tell us about that style of aircraft?
Nothing specific. There's plenty of those types of aircraft out there. They fly safely every day. So You know, every accident is unique. We look at the unique circumstances and document every accident. So that's the process we're involved in right now.
About how long would it have been in the air before this?
Again, the itinerary is still under investigation. We have not looked at that documentation yet. Our focus right now is to document the accident site and then get the aircraft recovered for further examination. So that's still in process.
Can you describe maybe, has this aircraft splintered? Is it in several pieces? What kind of condition is it in?
Well, we're still getting, processing the accident site, documenting the site, and we're still in the process of exactly documenting the extent of the damage to the aircraft. Suffice it to say, it's severe. It's significant.
Can anyone answer, did this come down in a living room, a bedroom, a kitchen? What part of the home?
This will have to be our last question. We've got to get them back to another briefing so they can continue their work, but I will turn it over to Chief Conway to take this final question.
While that is under investigation, what we believed is that the aircraft impacted the house coming from the southwest, and where we believe a majority of the aircraft would be in the basement on the west side of the house, or excuse me, the east side of the house. So let me correct that. It was traveling to the west, and it impacted the house almost on top of the roof.
On top of the roof?
Yep, it hit the roof. It came down, traveling northwest from the southeast, and impacted the residents in that direction.
Can you say quickly how fast from impact to kind of the flames erupting?
Just from video footage that we've seen, immediately.
Thank you.
Thank you all for your time. We appreciate you coming today.